On this James the Bike Guy, we're taking a look at the Univega Rover 27.5. This is an entry-level hardtail from Univega, and we're going to go into some of the features and designs of this bike, a little bit about who Univega is, and then of course we'll find out exactly what this bike weighs. But before we get into it, be sure to think about hitting that subscribe button if you enjoy the video. That way you can see more videos like this into the future. Let's start the video by talking about Univega. So Univega has been around for a long time. They got started in the 1970s during the first bike boom. And at that time, it was created by Ben Lai, who was also doing brands like Motor Bacan. And Univega came out as a full bike brand line where they made all sorts of different options. Now in the US at least, the brand went by the wayside throughout time and hasn't been a household name now for a while. And that has changed in 2018. In 2018, Univega, the brand name, was picked up by Kent International. And Kent has been around for quite some time as well, and they focus mainly on bikes that you might find at Walmart or those major box stores. And where they brought in Univega was as a brand that bridged the gap between what you'd find in a box store and what you'd find in a bike shop. But they've brought some of the efficiency and the cost savings that you can get in some lower priced bikes out of a box store into the quality and the builds of what you would get at a bike shop. And to add to that unique positioning, Kent International owns BCA, which is the Bicycle Corporation of America, which means that this bike is actually assembled in the USA. So BCA has a factory down in Manning, South Carolina, where they assemble a few different brands for BCA. And in this case, they assemble the Univegas. So that's a neat positioning because this bike is put together and assembled down in Manning, South Carolina. Now I'd encourage you to check out a video from Kev's Central Reviews where he actually went down and toured that factory, and it's pretty amazing to see bikes like this getting put together, wheels assembled, all that kind of stuff down in South Carolina. So now that we've talked about where Univega comes from, let's get into some of the specs on this bike. So this Rover Mesa 27.5 is going to run an aluminum frame. It's got an 1.125" steer tube up front. It's got a threaded bottom bracket, and then it's going to have rack mounts on the rear. That means you're going to be able to run a rear rack if you want to. It's got a quick release clamp for the seat posts, so it's going to make it easy to get this set up. And one of the things that I really like about the bike is if you look at it, it's got a nice short stem, it's got a good looking frame, and it comes in a full size range from small to extra large, meaning you're going to be able to get one that fits you properly. For a drivetrain, that's another place where this is pretty neat. This is a 1x drivetrain. It's pretty rare to see that on a bike of this low price. And to do it, they've got a Shimano Acera rear derailleur. Then they're running a 13 to 34 8-speed freewheel on the back. And that's going to come up to this alloy crankset, which is running a 28 tooth cog with a chain guard on it. So the reason you might want a 1x drivetrain like this is it's definitely going to be a bit nicer when you're off-road, but the other thing is it's got less things going on, which means there's less maintenance, and then it's going to be simpler to use. While we're talking about low maintenance, we should talk about the brakes, and in this case, it's running some Tektro mechanical disc brakes, operated on the handlebar using these Tektro aluminum brake levers. And you'll notice the handlebar is going to be a low rise but nice and wide. And a wide handlebar like that is going to be great when you're off-road. But the other neat thing is you can cut down to configure the fit of the bike. The handlebar is going to run a 31.8 handlebar clamp on this aluminum stem to a threadless 1.125" headset. As we swing to the back, you'll get a Univega branded saddle, which seems to be pretty comfortable, to this alloy 30.9 seat post with a quick release clamp to be able to adjust the size. To smooth out the bumps on the front, of course it's set up with an SR Suntour XCE fork. This fork is pretty unique at this price point again because it's got a true 100 millimeters of travel. So you've got full suspension travel on the front, It is a preload adjustable fork, so you've got small adjustments there. And then connecting to the ground is going to be these Kenda 27.5 by 2.1 inch mountain bike tires. You'll notice these mountain bike tires have a pretty nice tread pattern to them. Basically what we have here is a fast rolling tread pattern, still with enough side blocks, so that way you'll have some traction when you're out on the dirt trails. So now that we've taken a look at this Univega Rover Mesa 27.5, let's go ahead and find out what this bike weighs. Mesa 27.5 comes in and weighs 30.91 pounds. Thanks for watching this video on the Univega Rover Mesa 27.5. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And while you're at it, leave me a thumbs up. It lets me know you enjoyed the video.